Good afternoon. My name is Juan Renato Castillo, and my presentation is based on Part 1, Roots, Las Raíces, Chapter 2, The Spanish Borderlands and the Making of an Empire, from 1810 to 1898, found on our textbook, Harvest of Empire, A History of Latinos in America by Juan Gonzalez. For the class Introduction to Latin American Studies at the University of Houston downtown with Dr. Fernell Jimenez-Pabon, July 13, 2025. After Mexico won independence from Spain in 1810, it controlled much of the American Southwest. But by the mid-century, the U.S. had taken nearly half of Mexico's land through war and manipulation. The Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo in 1848 legally ended the war but created a second-class status for many Mexicans now living in the U.S. territory. These borderlands were more than lines on a map. They were living spaces where culture, politics, and race collided. The cultural survival strategies for Mexican Americans used in the 1800s are still seen today. Activism against discriminatory laws, fights for fair labor conditions, and debates over bilingual education show how the legacy of the borderlands still shapes Latino experiences in the U.S. It's a reminder that history isn't just the past, but it echoes in today's policies. Juan Seguin was a Mexican-born Texan who played a huge role in the Texas Revolution. He believed in a shared Texas for both Anglos and Tejanos, but after independence, Anglos turned on him. He was exiled and labeled a traitor. Seguin's story shows how Latinos have often been marginalized even when they helped build the nation. These are terms that are key to understanding how Latinos were displaced and disrespected. Manifest destiny wasn't just an idea, but it justified conquest. The Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo should have protected Mexicans' rights, but it didn't. Tejanos like Juan Seguin were caught in the middle. We often forget that California, Arizona, New Mexico, and Texas were once Mexican heartlands. After 1948, rancheros lost their land through legal trickery. Latinos became laborers in lands they once owned. Yet, through music, language, and faith, they kept their identity alive. One ethical dilemma still unresolved to date is whether descendants of Mexican landowners deserve justice. If laws were used as weapons to steal land, is it fair to just let them stand? Should there be efforts to acknowledge or even repair that damage? This history challenges us to look at justice not just as law, but as fairness. In this video, Lewisama argues that Latino history began thousands of years ago with flourishing civilizations that rival Europe in complexity and innovation, and is deeply woven in the history of the United States, yet it remains rarely acknowledged in mainstream education and culture. Chapter 2 shows that Latinos were not outsiders. They were insiders pushed out. Understanding that truth reshapes how we think about belonging, history, and identity. These stories aren't just about the past, they are blueprints on the future.